Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Unity in Harlem, this second Sunday in our new year, 2021. It has been a wonder of a week since we were last together. So much has happened in the week, and I'd like to illustrate that by a short little experience I had. On Thursdays, I have the opportunity to lead a meditation with elders. And they are a most committed group of women who are right there every Thursday for our time together. And because Wednesday had been such an incredible day, I thought that at the end of the meditation, maybe they would like to have a short conversation. We usually don't do this. And they said yes. And so when the meditation and relaxation was concluded, I opened it up and said, anybody have any words to say about Wednesday? And of course they did. They shared what you can imagine they shared. From shock to horror to elements of fear. And then I said, well, how did you feel about Tuesday? And 201, they could not remember what happened Tuesday. So then I said, what a Tuesday night? And they still could not remember what happened on Tuesday night. So I said, Tuesday night in Georgia. And then they said, oh, yes, it was wonderful. And we went on to have our discussion. And one of the things that I shared with them from my perspective is that when you put Tuesday evening and Wednesday up against each other, that Wednesday could have been seen as darkness and Tuesday as light. And you know what we say, the darkness could not overcome it. The darkness could not overcome it. The light of Tuesday will live on and have its major impact for the future far beyond the activity of Wednesday. It may not seem like this, and now I'm talking to all of us. It may not seem like that right now, but that's what the truth is. And that is what we are called to see first. Or certainly if something of Wednesday begins to creep into our mind and bring apprehension, just think of Tuesday. Think and remember Tuesday. We now enter into our service with the light of Tuesday surrounding us. And we will hear from Annette Purnell as she shares the daily word. Bob Ponce will lead us in our Unity in Harlem affirmation. I will come with the meditation. But let me not forget, Marie Ponce will come with her delightful music and inspirational music, a world of spiritual bliss by Donald Lawrence. And then I'll be back with a meditation and our talk. Let's begin again. Hold only a Garden of Eden. We will have our prayer requests and tithes and offering. Our announcements today will be shared by Ann Jackson. Marie will sing again the healing song by Karen Drucker, and then we'll have our prayer of protection and close out with our peace song. All of it will be a wonderful, growing, inspirational experience because that's what we desire. So be comfortable, and we now begin.
Sunday, January 10th, 2021. Today's daily word is prosperity. I claim prosperity now. When I feel tempted to wish for a more prosperous life, I remember prosperity begins at the level of my thinking. I focus my thoughts on the many blessings already in my life, and I feel grateful. From this place of gratitude, it becomes easy to notice more and more blessings all around me. This awareness helps me develop an attitude of prosperity. I tend to my thoughts of prosperity as though they were flowers in a garden. I plant them in good soil and nurture them with water and sunshine. This rich environment allows prospering ideas to take root and grow. As I nurture these ideas, I am abundantly blessed in life, love, health, and joy. And reading Psalm 36, verse 8, it says, "They feast on the abundance of your house, and you give them drink from the river of your delights." And this is the reading of the daily word today.
Isaiah 55 verse 11 says, "So shall my word be that goes out from my mouth. It shall not return to me empty, but it shall accomplish that which I purpose, and shall succeed in the thing for which I sent it." Unity affirmations speak to the power of our words, and particularly the power of I am. And so we say this affirmation every Sunday to affirm our divine nature. The words are on the screen, and I invite you to say them with me. I am an abundant, radiating center of God's love and light for peace, healing, and inner truth for all.
We are all temples of a living, loving, nurturing Creator. Let's remember that we're not in the natural. We are spiritual beings. This is A World of Bliss by Donald Lawrence. Come on, stand to your feet and worship. I'm not a spirit, natural being, living a spiritual experience, but I'm a spiritual being, living a natural experience. I'm not a natural being, living a spiritual experience, but I'm a spiritual being, living a natural experience every day. When I wake, my confession will constantly say, oh Lord, let me be spiritual, spiritual. Let me be spiritual, spiritual. I'm not a natural being, living a spiritual experience, but I'm a spiritual being, living a natural. I'm not a natural being, living a spiritual experience, but I'm a spiritual being, living a natural every day. When I wake, my confession will constantly say, oh Lord, let me be spiritual. Love, peace, patience, kindness, gentleness. Oh, not suffering, self discipline, yeah. Gentle, all the gifts of the Spirit. Oh, be spiritual. Carol Hunt,
Beautiful.
take it away.
Thank you. Thank you. Beautiful. And the message is true. Let us prepare ourselves now to spend some moments in relaxation and meditation. And as we prepare ourselves, become comfortable, let us take a couple of thoughts into our time of quiet, into this space known only to you, the secret place of the Most High. As the events of this week unfolded, the ongoing life in the midst of disease and disease continued. And so we would want to remember those that are are, were, and still will be wrapped in this time of disease. Our dear friend Ruby came to us last week requesting Unity in Harlem's prayer for her niece in Florida. Her niece transitioned from this life into the life of light and love at the end of this week. Her niece, Dr. Rosalind Mitchell, we want to say her name. Ruby expresses her gratefulness and appreciation for the prayers and support she received from Unity in Harlem. And the other that I would want us to keep in our thoughts, that event on Tuesday evening that brings a smile to our heart. And for all those involved, and for the deep meaning of the event Tuesday evening. Always remembering that darkness cannot and will not overcome light. Our eyes are closed. Our thoughts are settled. And we focus on our breath. We follow the easy rhythm that we have of breathing in and breathing out. As other thoughts may intrude, we just call ourselves to remind ourselves, I breathe in, I breathe out. I breathe in, I breathe out. As we breathe in and out, let the breath soothe your body, relax your emotions. Each inhalation and exhalation, let your breath sink you deeper and deeper into your seat. Let yourself relax. Feel yourself surrender. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Each time, sink deeper and deeper into the quiet space within you. As you breathe in, feel the energy of the breath. As you exhale, flow through your limbs, your hands and fingers. Breathe in, breathe out. Feel the sensation. Feel the energy. I breathe in. I breathe out. Think about your feet and your toes. Breathe in again and exhale the breath. Feel the energy in your feet and toes. Breathe in and breathe out. Inhale, exhale. Breathe in deeply this time. And hold the breath. Slowly exhale the breath. Breathe in deeply again. Hold the breath. And now exhale slowly. You are quiet and you are still. And now focus on the light within you. Let the energy of this light flow from you to touch any and all those who may be in pain and suffering right now. See light, not having any barriers. See the light traveling on the wings of the Redeemer. The light bring comfort and harmony. Let the light continue to travel and bring more light into places that are lit and open and as full as sunshine as they can be. And see more light. The blessing of more light. Let the light open doors that appeared to be shut. Let the light bring healing where there seemed to be discord, discomfort, misunderstanding. The light travels and leaves only good. And opens the way for more light. And now breathe into this space, your space. And exhale any debris, any shadows. For now there is only light. The light of the Spirit. And now begin to give thanks for the wonder of light and all that it can be we continue to unfold and be more the light that we are looking for. Return now, feeling open and receptive, feeling at peace and restored, and ready for all the good that light brings. Settle into our space. We open our eyes. We have a smile on our face. And we say yes. Amen. So it is, and so it shall be. In this month of thinking about beginning again, the physical new year comes and we have no choice but to begin again, whether we feel like it or not. It not only happens at the beginning of the physical new year, but it happens sometimes for people. It becomes this beginning again for their birthday or for an anniversary of some kind or an important time in their life, a promotion, a new home. And so there are many times we can decide whether I begin again. And so we take advantage of January and see this as a time that offers evaluation and assessing our status in life and what the future can hold. Sometimes it really doesn't matter if you take the time for just your physical circumstances or your spiritual endeavors. But I do think it's important to take the time to sit, reflect on, well, just where am I now? What's going on with me now? What's going on with my loved ones, my friends? Where do I fit myself now? The book of Genesis in the Old Testament is really about beginning in a very big way. Chapter 1 and 2 outlines what they say is the creation story. And I believe it is the creation story. Some of us believe this story is about the beginning of the world and the creation of man and woman from a literal point of view. And others, and those of us in New Thought, don't see it from a literal point of view. We can look at it from an allegorical perspective, from that perspective. Does this mean that those 2 chapters at the beginning are meant to convey meaning that have a moral message and a spiritual message, but absolutely not a literal message? So what are called in those 2 chapters 7 days of creation, we call it more like 7 steps of the creative process. And that creative process is going on within us, whether we are linked to it or not. And so today we're going to give some thought about being linked to the process. Not all 7 steps. Actually today, 1. Just 1. You are invited to call forth the steps from within you and experience the moral and spiritual implications for you. There might be some areas that would be the same for others with you, but primarily it's about your process, your creative process. The story we know as it's written is very familiar, maybe too familiar in many ways. And so today, as well as next Sunday, we're going to review the events of the story, but not so much to look at the literal or specific meanings, as I've said, but more as they relate to the unfolding of this creative dimension, this creative power that's within us. One part of the story is the fact that we are told that this happens in a place called the Garden of Eden. Here in the garden, we find man, and he is living in bliss. Garden of Eden, bliss. Now, while he's there, this is not enough that he's living in this bliss. So he is given a mate, and together they begin to wonder about the things in this garden where they are perfectly happy. Perfectly happy. In fact, that bliss, that's kind of what it means. Perfectly happy. And so they begin to think about it and wander in their garden, talking and conversing. And let me say at the outset that let us just look at Adam and Eve as consciousness, a certain consciousness that's evolving. One could even say a masculine dimension and a feminine dimension, or a masculine factor in consciousness, or a feminine factor in consciousness. So they are curious, and in their curiosity, they allow it to get the better of them, and they find they have to leave this blissful place. Let's try and think about why I would suggest let's begin again, and you would want to hold only a Garden of Eden, our title today. Hold only a Garden of Eden. So this is a place, a state of perfect happiness where you would be oblivious to anything else going on. And if we think about this past week, we had a lot going on. But for you, in the garden, you are oblivious. For the garden to become allegorical, you must believe that you were born into and living in bliss. The popular New Thought poem expresses it fully, and Marie actually sung about it today. You are a spiritual being living in a spiritual world governed by spiritual law. That's that world of bliss you are born into. Now, you also could say it, you're born with it in you. You are a spiritual being living in a spiritual world governed by spiritual law. When you become curious about life, as our friends in consciousness did, you do exactly what they did. They looked away from their bliss and perfect happiness, and because they did, for whatever moment, day, month, or years, they toiled for whatever they needed. As it says in Genesis 2:25, they ceased to care for it. They were to dress it and keep it. And as a result, because they didn't care for it, dress it, keep it, in Genesis 3:17, we can reflect what we know to this day. Through pain, toil, you will eat of all the days of your life. Pain and toil all the days of your life. So this is the setting we are all in. I'm sure you understand that the Garden of Eden is in you. Adam and Eve were placed in the garden, or you could say the garden was placed in them to create. For what purpose? To create the divine expression of the Creator in them as them. They did not understand that until they looked away from the bliss, the perfect happiness they were living in. Then everything else happened. They did not realize that if I look away, if we look away, if I stop caring for, keeping it dressed, they would find themselves living in stress, anxiety, unforgiveness, anger, fear, uncertainty, poverty, and the list could go on and on. They were warned not to eat of the knowledge tree. Not to eat of the knowledge tree. But, it looks so good. It looks so good. Don't we say that? Oh, that looks so good. It has material and physical pleasure. The food, scrumptious. Financial abundance, peace and power. It has everything. Now, for us to further understand the spiritual meaning of living in the garden, living in bliss, it requires understanding of another word. They were told not to eat of the knowledge tree. Not to eat means to not take it all in. Don't get involved 100% with it. Go around appropriating something or someone without being in control of yourself? Aren't you thinking? And then have to end up saying, I didn't know it was going to end this way. I just came along for the ride. I trusted him. I trusted her. They are my friends, after all. How was I to know this is the way it would turn out? What was I supposed to do? Now that's the perfect question. What was I supposed to do? That is the first step of creation. Let there be light. Let there be light. And God said, let there be light. And there was. Didn't have to search for it or go looking for it or look under pillows or stones or rocks or behind trees. Let there be light. And there was light right there. We are born into bliss. We are called forth to take care of it. We can say, let there be light. And there is light. When these words were attributed to God and spoken, it was not a reference to a physical light or to go looking for a physical light in someone or somewhere. It was an inner light to be turned on. In turning it on and turning it toward the inner light, you turn to your divine guidance. When we hear that we are co-creators with God, this is what it means. The dimension and power of the inner light is God in you, and therefore you now co-create. You are a part of the creative process. The God in you, the spiritual dimension of you, the light, and you create. Divine ideas and consciousness brings you into the illumined state of mind. Think of it, an illumined state of mind, and you are linked with the fullness of the Creator. How does this happen? Prayer is the key. When you pray, not to God, but from the consciousness of God within you, you turn on the light of divine guidance, divine creation, as it is to be expressed through you and as you. The whole of God presence is right here where you are right now. Eric Butterworth, in his book, The Creative Life, uses this illustration. When Jesus said, "You are the light of the world, let your light shine," it is not some illumination you must find on the outer. He is speaking of an inner illumination, an inner revelation, an inner acknowledgement, an inner acceptance. By you, of an ever-present light within. The same can be said for himself, Jesus, when he says, "I am the light of the world." He was not referring to himself as the human Jesus. He was referring to the ever-present light, the I am of himself that he discovered in the garden, in the perfect bliss. Adam and Eve's consciousness did not understand. They were to live from the Garden of Eden. They were to hold on to it. They were to dress it, keep it, cultivate it, understand it. They were to live from bliss, from perfect happiness, from light. Let there be light. This is your invitation as co-creator with the divine mind of God in you and as you. Grab hold of it, keep it, dress it, take care of it, and you will be illumined. Bless you. and and our own request. And then we will have our love offering immediately after. We now move into this dynamic activity of prayer. We listen from within. What is my heart's desire? What is my request in this moment? What do I want to unfold? What is my desire co-creating with Spirit? As this awareness comes to you, put it in a center of light. Allow it to beam out exactly what is intended. Let it be your way forward, your understanding. See it blossoming, growing in your garden. See it filled, your garden, with all that you desire. Be grateful, thankful for a time of perfect happiness and perfect bliss in the garden, as all that you desire and know unfolds right here, right now. We know it all in the name of the I Am Presence, the Christ, the light. Amen, and so it is. We think now of the gift that we would give. The presence of Spirit that unfolds in our life and leaves with us the prosperous life we live. In that prosperity that flows through us, we are given gifts, and we give. We give as we receive. We give out of the abundance of Spirit, easily, happily, And our giving goes to heal the world we live in. We bless these gifts as we see them in our mind's eye, as we hold them to our heart, and we see them multiplying, going forth to do that which we intend for it to do. Bless the lives of countless people. For we know that as we give, we receive, and that it continues giving and receiving. And only as we give do we receive. We bless the gifts. And listen to these words, and then I will repeat them after, and you can join in with me. Divine love flowing through me blesses and increases all that I give and all that I receive. Shall we know it now together? Divine love flowing through me blesses and increases all that I give and all that I receive. So be it.
We will now have the announcements for today. Please join us immediately after the service for chatting on Zoom. The Zoom ID is 698-428-2725. The phone number is 1-929-205-609, and the passcode is 7777777. The Monday meditation for this week in January could be heard by dialing 1-712-770-4169, and the code is 3630392 #. The Tuesday study group is from 6 to 8 p.m. using the book Spiritual Economics by Eric Butterworth. The Zoom ID is 698-428-2725. The phone number is 1-929-205-609 7777777. The Friday Unity in Harlem Circle of Prayer is from 6 to 7 p.m. on Zoom with the same phone number as for the Tuesday study group. Next Sunday, January 17th, the talk will be Hold Only, a Babbling Brook. This concludes today's announcement. Next, we will have Marie with a selection.
Ann Jackson. Thank you so much, Ann Jackson. You're awesome. So we're going to share with you a new arrangement of the song by Karen Drucker called The Healing Song. You can think about how every cell in our body is, all the receptors on our cells, they can choose to be full of disease, or they could be full of the different emotions that we carry, and we can choose what those are. Joy fills every cell of my body. Every cell is alive with love. A new arrangement. Joy fills every cell of my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow spirit to do what it does. What it does. Peace fills every cell of my body. Every cell is alive with love. I relax into the healing process. I allow spirit to love fills every cell of my body. Every cell is alive. I relax into the healing process. I allow spirit, spirit fill, spirit fill, love, joy, peace fills my mind. Love enfolds us. Light, I am. Light, I am. I am. Joy fills every cell of my body. Every cell's alive. Every cell is alive with love, with joy, with kindness, gentleness, peace, joy. Joy fills every cell in my, joy fills every cell in my joy. Thank you. Thanks, Karen Drucker. Healing song.
Thank you, Marie.
You're welcome, Carol.
Yeah, wonderful.
Thank you.
Thanks to everyone today. Annette for the reading of the daily word, and Bob, of course, and Ann Jackson with our announcements. All of it together blends for a wonderful spiritual time. And now we can say our prayer of protection.
Sounds good. The light
of
God surrounds us.
The love
The love of God enfolds us.
The power
of God protects us.
Protects
The presence of
The
God
presence of
watches
God
over us.
watch over us.
Wherever we are,
Wherever we
God
are,
God
is,
is,
God
and all is
is
well.
well.
is.
Ah, thank you. Oh, it's nice
Thank
having
you.
all of us together do that.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
all synchronized.
Right. So we'll close out with our peace song.
Sounds good to me, Carol. All right, everybody sing. Let there be
There be
peace on
peace on
earth, and let it
earth and
begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator. Family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Yay, awesome, awesome, Carol and Anne.
Awesome.
Yay. So
Well,
hopefully everybody will join us.
join us for our chat on Zoom.